Hello everyone, this is Irusa and you are listening to the Irusa podcast. And today my guest is Mark Ziners, and let's welcome him. And so Mark, introduce
Yes.
yourself. Where are you from and what do you do? Let's introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. So my last name is pronounced Chigner. The Z and the S are silent. That's why I kind of go as Mark Z online. It's a lot easier for a lot of people. Your name is Arusha, I guess. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I am an internet marketer, email marketer primarily. I have dabbled in many things online. I've been doing online marketing of all types. I've had Shopify stores and I've done different things. I've drove traffic with Facebook ads in the past. I've done a lot of things, but the main thing that I do now is email marketing. Is I started email marketing well over 3 or 4 years ago, and then of course, like everybody else that's in online marketing, you get distracted by shiny objects, and you end up doing other things than you should be doing, and never focusing on one thing. So late last year, I was selling a software product. It's still out there. It is a Facebook product, and I still sell it, but I don't actively sell it anymore. But it is a very good product, and I was doing that. But at the same time, I also had a regular like 9 to 5 job. I also am a coder. I code in Python and JavaScript and all that. So I was a web developer, and I happened to get another gig. So that kind of started taking up more of my time, and I didn't have time to really continue trying to sell a software product where you're constantly having to connect with people via Facebook Messenger. And I decided, okay, well, I got to continue my online ventures because that is making me money. I do make money online. And I said, well, you know what? Let me just focus on just one thing. And that's probably the best decision I ever made. And I've just been focusing on email marketing. And that's pretty much what I do. I have a private Facebook group that I will send you the link if you want to promote that group or whatever for me. That would be great. It's a private Facebook group where I do free training and also do paid training in that group. I'm a coach in that group. So that's about it. What else
Great.
do you want to know?
I heard that you are the coder and everything digital marketing. How you are handling all those things, job, coding, and everything else?
Um, I am not currently working as a coder anymore. The last company I worked for was a startup, and as you know, if anything about startups, if they don't get funding, there's no money to pay their employees. So I'm no longer doing Python coding. I'm just doing email marketing full time at this point.
And when you have started your journey as email marketing, and can you share how you started and why you decided to go for only the email marketing specifically?
Okay. Yeah. So in my private group, that's a private Facebook group. I go over my story, my background in like the first training video. But I will tell you. So what happened was about 6 years ago now, 2015, I guess. I started getting interested in doing drop shipping using a Shopify store. That seemed to be the rage back then, and I kind of looked at a bunch of YouTube videos, did a lot of Google searches, and then just ended up doing the Shopify thing. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to do something online to start making money. I was tired of working, a regular 9 to 5, and so the Shopify thing did good. Because I happened to open up a store right before Q4, or as it's traditionally known, Q4, which is the big buying season. And so I did really good. And then all of a sudden, it came January the following year, everything just dropped off and died. I didn't understand why because I'd never done an e-commerce or a drop shipping store before in my life. And so then I continued to try to do drop shipping for another year. I set up several different Shopify stores, spent a lot of money running Facebook ads, Google ads, Google Shopping. So I did a lot of that. And then near the end of that year, I found a really good niche. And I'll tell you what the niche is. You just can't sell it via Facebook ads. So I found a niche of that people like. It's called knives. Just like regular, like hunting knives and sportsman's type of knives. And those sold really good in December of that year. I spent a lot of money on Facebook ads, but I also made a lot of money. And then the next January came around, Facebook said, we won't let you advertise that on here. You're not allowed to advertise that. Somehow, I guess in January, maybe their customer support people didn't realize that, and they let the ads just go in. And so that really kind of was the last straw with trying to do any type of thing Shopify wise. I continued on with the Shopify because I had established how easy it was to set one up. I could literally set up a Shopify store in 2 hours complete. Done. Everything, all your plugins installed, your site done, the domain, all that. It was really easy for me to do that just because I have a technical background, but it wasn't really making me any money anymore. So I finally gave up on the Shopify. I think the last Shopify store I did was for some back brace or something like that. And, after that, I been talking to other people online who were all doing email marketing, affiliate marketing. And I said, let me give that a shot. So this was literally 3 years ago, over 3 years ago now. And I started doing the email marketing. And the very first time I tried to send out or promote a product, I made 2 sales. And like, oh, well, this is going to be easy. Not quite so much. And so I kind of said, all right, well, that worked for a little bit. And then, of course, shiny object time came up and I started doing something else. I did Bing ads. I tried this. I tried that. I kind of did a little bit of email marketing. Then the following year, there was a guy that came out with a product, and I bought his training course on how to do YouTube, how to basically do YouTube videos without even trying, without even making a video, basically just taking other people's videos, chopping it up, making edits, and then calling it your own and putting it out there. I did that for about 6 months. That really never went anywhere. And it did help me to understand how to make a YouTube channel and, how to make videos and all that stuff. But it really never made a ton of money. I made a little bit on that via Google AdSense. And then I decided, you know what, I got to get back into email marketing. I did that. And then last year, what ended up happening was I was doing email marketing. And then I started talking to this one guy online who actually reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, I've got this thing you might be interested in if you're an email marketer, how to build a list, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, let me check it out. So I checked it out. It turned out to be kind of legit. They were kind of a list building thing, but then it kind of like pivoted, I guess you would say. And now they just make software products for Facebook engagement and stuff like that. And so that's where I was last year. Started out email marketing. Kind of let it go to the wayside. And then I kind of got back into it at the end of the year when there was no way I could like work a regular job and still continue to do that. So that's where I'm at right now.
Wow, great. You end up in the email marketing and starting from the coding and then after Shopify and then after different e-commerce and drop shipping and ending up to the email marketing. And then um, do you want to do something else or only email marketing now? And
Yeah,
why?
because email marketing makes money. It's something you can do. What I like about email marketing is if you focus on it and don't get distracted. That's why I set up the private Facebook group, is because I know a lot of people are like me. They want to make money online. They want to make some sort of side income with COVID and all this. You don't know where your job is these days, and you just want to be able to have something that's making money without having to do a ton of work. So email marketing is literally, once you get it set up and going, you can literally spend an hour a day just setting up a few email campaigns, and then boom, you're free to do whatever you want. Now, of course, this comes with saying that, I've been building this up since the beginning of the year. It is now April, and the income continues to go up with email marketing because now I've got a routine. And I did it specifically, like I was saying, because I just couldn't also do coding, for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day sometimes, coding Python and JavaScript, building sites. And then, I just couldn't, I was burnt out. There's no way I could sit there and talk to people on Messenger all night, try to sell them a product. And so the easiest thing for me to do is I wanted to keep the online thing going. And that's why I say for anybody that has a regular 9 to 5 job, you're in India, right? Is that correct? You're from India?
I'm from Nepal. That's near
Yeah.
to the India, but I'm from Nepal.
Nepal. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So I encourage all your listeners that if they want to leave their regular day job, don't leave it. That's the stupidest thing you can do. Stick with your day job. Start with email marketing because I think it's the best way to go. Because once you get your email marketing going, like I said, you can literally spend an hour in the morning or an hour in the evening, get all your emails done for the day, and then boom, you don't have anything, you don't have to do anything else on the computer. So I mean, right now, like before this call, I was setting up emails for Saturday or tomorrow, basically. I was, setting up. I try to stay within a day or so. I don't want to go out too far in advance unless I'm going on a vacation or something, because what will happen is a new product will come out that you want to promote, and then your emails are already set up for another product, and there's a lot to it. It's not quite as it's simple once you get the groove of it and the hang of it, and you get a system built. But when you're first starting out, it's not. It's kind of daunting at first, I guess you would say. But once you do it for a while and you get a system up and running, and again, that's why I got the private email Facebook group so I can help other people to get going on it. So,
Yeah. And how many email till now you have collected? And how do you
uh,
get, I mean,
well,
how do you collect those emails?
oh, yeah, well, the emails are collected via a couple of means. I have a thing I call T1 Club, which is where I'm collecting emails and running Google ads constantly. And basically, it's an opt-in form that says, "Do you want to learn how to make money online?" It's probably the ugliest opt-in form. I think it's the ugliest opt-in form. And here's a little quick tip for your audience: is if something works, don't change it. Because I've looked at that opt-in page, I'm like, man, this is an ugly, ugly opt-in page, but people are still opting in on it because there's so many people out there in the world, with COVID and everything, they just want to learn how to do this. So they'll put their email address in there, and then of course it comes to my email list, and I start emailing. Um, Pretty much that's it. You do that, and then I also sell traffic too. I sell clicks as well as leads. Now, a lot of people, and I put out a video earlier today on my YouTube channel. I do these short videos. I think you probably heard of them. They're called hashtag shorts. They're kind of like trying to jump on the TikTok thing where all the videos are like shorter than 1 minute. And YouTube has that feature where you just hashtag shorts and you keep the video below 1 minute. And then YouTube's algorithm promotes it for you. But anyways, I put out a video this morning because overnight, people always make fun of the leads I sell. Oh, you shouldn't buy leads. Well, these leads also come in off an opt-in page, and I know the guy that I resell traffic from has been doing this for like 15 years. He knows what he's doing, and the leads generated over 6 sales overnight. And again, this is all via email. I didn't do, I didn't like knock on somebody's door or talk to somebody. I just sent them an email, and they saw a product and they wanted it and they got it. So
What kind of the product, as you said that you run the ads on the Google, and what kind of the product that you sell after getting the emails of the people?
I sell what I do. My niche is what a lot of people's niche is. It's called the MMO, or make money online, or business opportunity niche. So basically, the products I sell are strictly for people that are hungry to learn how to make money online. And there's several ways to make money online. Don't think that email is the only way to do it, but there's several ways to make money online. And so I sell products that are targeted for that niche, that shows them it's either a software such as one of the softwares I'm talking about in my private Facebook group is an autoresponder software that also has funnels built in. So you not only have pre-built funnels for you. Funnels being where you would collect somebody's email and then, pitch them a product. So a basic funnel would be like an opt-in page, which goes to a thank you page. And then usually on that thank you page, you'll have a link or a button that says, hey, if you want to learn more about this, click this link. And that usually goes to a product, which you're an affiliate for. And then if the person buys it, you get paid a commission off of it. And that's generally how most funnels are. But this product that I'm kind of promoting a little bit in my private Facebook group, there's two of them. They're cloud-based autoresponders. So an autoresponder is the email system such as like GetResponse, Aweber, SendLane. You probably heard of them, different ones out there. And those things cost money. They cost a lot of money per month. And the more subscribers you get, the more they charge you. Well, these software cloud-based packages, usually they're a one-time price and they're pretty low to get in. And then they're up in the cloud and you're sending emails from a cloud-based autoresponder. So that's one of the packages I promote. And that's more like a package to help you get started as an email marketer. But then some of the other packages I promote is there's several like loopholes out there that you can exploit if you know what they are. The latest one is a loophole on, I think you asked for the link, is a loophole on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is one of the biggest communication platforms out there, kind of like, I guess it's like Instagram and not Instagram rather, but it's like a messenger type of app. And it's very, very popular. I know it's very, very popular like in Europe and I think, where you live and India and overseas places. It's not as big here in the United States, but it is very popular in overseas places. So, but this guy who's a big time marketer figured out a way to make money with it via some sort of loophole. So every product has a loophole somewhere. And if you could be the first one, or you can create a product to show other people how to take advantage of the loophole, then you've got a product that you can sell. So that's basically it. So those are the type of products I sell.
Can you explain more about the loopholes on the email marketing that you have recently talked about?
Loopholes as far as the products, because I mean, email marketing, there's really no loopholes. You send an email with a link in it, and a person clicks a link, you get paid a commission if they buy from you. That's it. As simple as it gets. That in a nutshell is email marketing. You send an email to a list that you've built, either through solo ads or leads or a capture page that you've offered, like a free ebook or something like that. They come to your capture page. That's it. That's email marketing in a nutshell. Now, the loophole stuff that I was just discussing is a product like Instagram, for example. One of the things on Instagram that I know is kind of an attraction, but at the same time, if you can get an influencer or somebody to promote your Instagram page, you can make money by posting a link in your bio. So you get to post one link on Instagram. I always found that as being a disadvantage. And then out came Linktree, where you can post a Linktree link and you get several links. But to be quite honest with you, in fact, not quite honest, totally honest, if you give the customer too many choices, usually you don't sell. I found that out the hard way many times. I still make that mistake a lot of times, is if you give them 5 possibilities, they'll choose none, because the person will come look at the page or look at the email and go, oh, well, he's got 5 links on this page, and they'll start clicking, and each one of those links go to a different product. You'll probably sell none of them. Whereas if you have 1 or 2 links on an email and the link goes to the same product, then you probably have a good chance of selling that product.
Yeah, true. And do you think the email marketing still be on hype in later of the years?
Oh yeah, I mean, that was a question that everybody else tries to say is email marketing is going to die, and it never has. It won't ever die, because the problem with a lot of these social platform products, and I'll say it, and a lot of you won't believe it, but I highly believe that Facebook is coming towards the end of its usefulness. I'm an older person, so I remember one of the very, very first social networks out there. It was called Friendster. Friendster took off, and then came MySpace. To get a little more modern, MySpace came along after Friendster, and there was like Hi-Fi. There was other social platforms. And then Facebook came along. Facebook was nothing, and they grew, and they grew very fast. But I think with a lot of what they're doing now, as far as censorship, like earlier today, I was reading an article that you can no longer post from that English newspaper, Daily Mail, which is a legit newspaper. You no longer post links on Facebook from there. So I think with the censorship thing, as well as other countries starting to ban Facebook from even being allowed on their internet or their part of the internet, it's going to really cramp their style. Now, it's a $1 billion company. I get that. But I can see the days where Facebook starts to go into the background and something else will take over. And that's the problem with social products. You will find out that social products will eventually disappear after a while. And email has always been there. And that's one thing that you can guarantee that if you talk to maybe your parents or somebody or an older person, the one thing they always check every day is their email. They're not guaranteed to check Facebook every day. They may never get on Instagram. They may never be on WhatsApp. But the one thing that's guaranteed is they will check their email. Now, I just put out a training video this morning. I just did a training video about an hour ago for my private Facebook group. And one of the things I did mention in that video I did, the training video, is that email, somebody may not check it every day, but their inbox will get filled and they'll eventually start going through their email. So you have a better chance at trying to convert somebody into a sale via an email than versus like try to connect to them on Messenger. Like right now, as we talk, there was a lady that tried to connect with me on Messenger. I have no idea who she is, but kind of looked at her profile real quick. And that's the kind of stuff you get in Messenger. You get a lot of spam. People ignore it. And I know a lot of people are big proponents of Messenger because you can easily reach 2.7 billion people on Facebook, but a lot of those people you don't even want to talk to. And I know you probably have run into those people that you don't even want to talk to ever. And they'll, just reach out to you. But with email, email's been around since like the late, I would say email as far as like internet, like public email, like for just civilians, has been around since like the late 90s. I don't see it going away anytime soon.
Yeah. And who do you think let's say, the guru of the email marketing that you admire most?
Well, of course, it would have to be Michael Cheney. He made like $20 million in the last 20 something years. He made millions via just doing email. That's all he did for a long, long time. And he's dabbled in other things like Facebook pages and groups and stuff like that. But his main forte was email marketing. Ben Martin's another one. It's a student of Michael Cheney. Ben Martin did a fantastic job making money with email. Him and his wife, who used to live down in the Caribbean, they moved to somewhere, I believe it's in Ohio. He's never given out his location, which I wouldn't either. But he lives somewhere in the Midwest, and they bought a huge house. He's got looks like 10 acres of land. Him and his wife both do online stuff. I think she mainly does like eBay and stores and stuff, and he does email marketing. And then the thing is once you get that type of wealth and income, then you can start doing other things. And lately he's been doing a lot of crypto stuff. He's been investing a lot of money in crypto. But yeah, the people that I really admire are probably Michael Cheney, Ben Martin, another guy that hasn't done much lately. He's been just kind of like laying low. I think he's gotten in as far as he's gotten really involved in his church as a deacon. Is Rob Reese. That's another big email marketer at one point in time. Then, of course, there's several out there, but these are people I admire the most.
Great, great. And as you are from the St. Louis, can you give insight how it's look and how the people are there in your country and how they feel about the digital marketing and the email marketing and yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I've lived here. Well, I've lived here on and off since 1996. Um, I've moved away for different job opportunities. I lived in New York City for a while, like in 2010 and 2013. I lived in the Bay Area, which is just a beautiful area, but very, very, very expensive. In fact, New York and San Francisco Bay Area are just super expensive. So if you talk to anybody in your country or anybody's planning to come over to the United States, or if they, get a visa sponsorship or whatever for a startup company, just be prepared to ask for as much money as the company will give you, because living in the Bay Area, just from personal experience alone, if you want to live comfortably, you need to make at least $120,000 a year. And I'm not lying. You need to make that much money, not because you just want to make a lot of money. It's because that's what you're going to need to afford to live in an apartment. Back in 2013, a buddy of mine had a 1-bedroom apartment in the city of San Francisco proper. He lived right by the ballpark, the San Francisco Giants baseball team. I mean, he was like a block away from there. That apartment, which was super tiny, it was even tinier than my studio apartment. I had a studio apartment in Burlingame, which is where the airport is for San Francisco. It's a suburb city, and I had an apartment in Burlingame. And it cost me like $1,500 a month, and it was a studio. Didn't even have a bedroom. It was a studio apartment above a garage. Now my buddy had a proper apartment, a 1-bedroom, and his apartment was like $3,500 a month. So what I'm saying, any of the folks over in your country, if they're coming to the United States, they get a job, over in the Bay Area, be prepared to ask for as much money, and there's a good reason for it. Otherwise, you won't be able to live comfortably, and you'll be very stressed out. New York City's the same way. It's a very expensive city to live. In 2010, I was renting another studio apartment. Now, the cool thing about that was I was in a studio apartment, and I can at least say this much: I lived next to the Empire State Building. So that was really cool. I lived next to the Empire State Building. It was a high-rise apartment, but I was subletting from this girl who was in school. She had gone back home or something. I don't know what her situation was, or moved out. So she sublet her studio, and that cost me almost $2,000 a month. And this was in 2010. So the big cities are not cheap. I would just say that. So let's get back to St. Louis. I'm sorry, I get off of topic here, but St. Louis is a Midwestern city. It's considered like flyover country, they call it. A lot of people fly over from East Coast to West Coast, but it has a very big startup culture here still. The founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, is from St. Louis. In fact, I know his brother personally, Drew. Drew Dorsey lives here still. So Twitter was founded here, as well as what is that called? Not Stripe. Gosh, I can't think of the other thing he did. The Square company, Square, I guess. He founded that here, and so it has a pretty good startup environment. There's a area in St. Louis called the Cortex that has a lot of new young startups that are coming up. In fact, I was working over at the Cortex when I had the day job for a little bit. So there's a lot of startups here. It's got a really good environment. The thing that I'll let your listeners know is if they do get hired to like a startup in either St. Louis or Austin, Texas, which is south of here, the cost of living is a lot cheaper here than it is on either coast. In fact, St. Louis has one of the lowest cost of livings in the entire country. So that's why I'm still here. It's very, very cheap to live here.
And you said that in New York and Francisco is so expensive. Can you tell how how much is like income that the people on maximum and minimum in those area like New York and Francisco?
Well, in San Francisco and in New York, I was making like around $80,000 or $90,000 a year, and that was still bare minimum. Today, you would have to make at least 100. I think I read somewhere like 115, 120 just to get by in either of those cities. that's per year. So that's, you have to make a pretty good amount of money to live in either of those cities comfortably.
And what's the high paying job in those country?
What's that? I'm sorry. What was
What's
the question?
what's the high paying job in that country?
High paying jobs, usually, programming, anything with information technology, um, data science. That's a big one. Right now, the company I was working at for a little bit, they are looking for data scientists right now. They're going to start hiring data scientists. So data is a big thing. So if you wanted me to give any advice as far as anybody in college, what you should try to go for, I would go for a data science degree. Data science is where I think is going to be, at least for the next 20, 30 years, is going to be a big job market for that.
And what do you think about the blockchain and cryptocurrency
I didn't hear
on
you.
top
What?
of that? What do you think about the career on the blockchain and the cryptocurrency on the top of the data science?
Yeah, well, definitely. If you get into data science, then you'll be getting into like a lot of the blockchain stuff, which is what cryptocurrency is based on. Um, I think anybody, like maybe anybody that's in high school or deciding to go to college or go back to school, anything with math, data, um, anything with programming like Python or R, which is another data programming language. You learn those, and you start, maybe putting out blog posts. As far as, like, speaking of blogs, you could even put out a blog post and say, hey, I know how to do this, let me show you how. Like, do like tutorial type of posts would be a really great way to catch the eye of like a hiring company.
As a cryptocurrency and those of the technical thing, I mean, computer science and information technology is both of the opposite term that I know. I mean, cryptocurrency is a decentralized and in computer science and information technology, like companies are the centralized. Yeah. So that's what I okay. Next move, I will move to the next question. And
Mhm.
what suggestion would you like to give to the young person if he or she wants to explore the marketing field? And what books are the something that you want to recommend?
Well, I definitely would recommend. Number one thing is, whatever you do, is you want to focus on it uh, fully. Whether it's email marketing, or like you were saying, I know that the decentralized with crypto, but if you want to focus on that and you want to get better at coding, Python or R or whatever, to make yourself look more attractive to a company, you definitely need focus. As far as okay, what was the exact question again? I'm sorry.
I mean, what would you like to give the suggestion to the young person if he or she wants to explore the marketing field? And what books are the something that you want to
Oh yeah,
recommend?
books. I would highly recommend um, getting any of Russell Brunson, who is the founder of ClickFunnels. I think there's several. It's called like Expert Secrets, um, Traffic Secrets, and there's one more. But he has a trilogy of books. Usually, you can get them for like shipping and handling. He'll send them to you because he's trying to get you to buy something or sign up for ClickFunnels. Um, any of those books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is a good one. Uh, any coding book. I just recently got a Python coding book. Um, Dan Laurie, I believe is his name. So that's another one. Depends on which way you're going. As far as like email marketing, another one to try to get is, if you're going to do like serious, you just want to seriously learn about copywriting, Ben Settle. Uh, he has several books out there. You can get them all on Amazon. I think one of them is called Villains. If you look up Ben, Ben, his last name is Settle, Settle. and look up his books on Amazon. That's great books on copywriting if that's the way you want to go.
And this is one of the last question. Uh,
Mhm.
this is the last question, and is the kind of the hypothetical question. If you are gonna leave this art, and if your audience doesn't have any access to your content you have created on your digital platform, you have the only option to share the three things from your experience, and yeah, what those three things would be.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the question from the thing. For some reason it got muted there. I think I had an incoming call and it muted you. Could you just ask it real quick again, just so I understand it?
Sure. This is the one of the hypothetical question, and this question goes like this: if you are gonna to leave this art and your audience doesn't have access to your content that you have created in the digital platform, like you send emails or anything that you have created on the digital platform for them, and you have only the option to share the three things from your experience, what that would be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Number one is focus. Number two is never quit or give up. So once you pick something to do, whether it's email marketing or you decided you wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads, just focus on that and just never give up. Continue to do it no matter how bad it looks. You just continue to do it. I would say you don't give up on something for at least 90 days. Okay. And then lastly, if you still haven't found any success, as far as email marketing or Facebook ads or anything. And after 90 days, you haven't found any success, but you believe it's going to work and you want to continue on, then I highly suggest you find a coach, somebody more experienced that's, done it. And there's so many coaches out there, so you have to vet those on your own, but find somebody that is sincere, that is willing to coach you, and take what you already know and help you to get better at it. There's a saying that goes, you'll get further if you're standing on the shoulder of giants than if you try to sometime, do it yourself. So that's it. Those are three tips: focus, never give up, and find yourself a coach.
I have that great insight about like giving try for the 90 days, and if this
Yeah.
work then go on, and if that doesn't work then move on, right?
Yeah. I mean, after 90 days, if you're not making any money doing it or you're not having any success, and it's not about, I hate to say money, but that's kind of a measure of success. If you're not being successful at it, like you can even apply this to losing weight. Good example. If after 90 days of following a routine and regimen and you're not losing weight, then you need to do one of two things. You need to stop that and figure out a different way of doing it, or you're going to need to find yourself a coach, like a trainer. So, I mean, losing weight's a perfect example. In 90 days, you should see some definite changes.